Adventures of Irvingman! We're on a passenger ship. A guy with a health officer's armband is trying to get into another guy's stateroom. Try somebody else. This guy really doesn't want his health inspected.
Looking for someone?
I've been looking all over the boat for you.
Why didn't you knock?
So I didn't knock.
So it's rude. It makes people not want to trust you, as if he trusted you in the first place.
So sue me.
What do you want?
Doc sent me to meet you.
Oh, just what I thought.
I got on a quarantine.
Is Doc meeting the boat, too?
You know he never goes out. He sent the bus and a couple of the boys. They're waiting for us at customs.
The guy says, "It was clever of you to register as Madame Charpentier. How'd you pull that off?"
Is that the bus down there?
That's it. How you taking the stuff through customs?
I don't think you'll be taking the same bus. And now we'll see how he pulled it off. By the time he's done, he is Madame Charpentier. He's a very skilled female impersonator. Lois and Jimmy are at the dock waiting to interview a famous French movie star. Lois goes on ahead to set it up.
Young man. Jeune homme.
Who, me?
May we, please?
She gives him the box and says, "See those two men by the ambulance over there? This is serum that the doctor needs. Give it only to the doctor. I have to run and I don't have time to give it to them." Jim being Jim, he's only too happy to help.
You the doc?
Why?
I got some serum. A lady said to give it to the doctor.
Well, that's what we've been waiting for. The doc's inside.
Yeah? I don't see any doctor in there.
Inside.
Jimmy!
He finds himself in a fancy office, still having no idea what's going on.
Where's Fisher and the Count? They never showed up.
Who's this boy?
He's got what we were sent for.
Listen, doctor.
Where's the box?
I guess this is what you want, though I still don't know what it's all about.
He tells his story about why he was there and the French lady, and the doctor says, "Sounds reasonable," and we have what we were after. Did it just come out of the oven?
Is something wrong?
Nothing. Except that the box is empty.
Maybe it's still in the oven, whatever it was. He gets a call telling him Fisher is dead. That means the Count double-crossed them and that Madame Charpentier is really the Count. Jimmy still wants to know what this is all about, but they say, "You already know too much." The goon locks him in a special hidden room. Apparently it's electrified because he's drooling over the idea of turning on the current.
I want to put through a call to Dr. Hans Schumann, Frankfurt, Germany, United States Base Hospital 991. What's that? A delay of 3 hours in all calls to Germany?
Jim has been gone long enough that Clark is getting concerned. Inspector Henderson checked out the ambulance. It was rented under a fake name and they used their own driver, so he has precisely squat. How about the body on the ship?
He's the only one we know anything about so far. Small-time confidence man named Fisher. Here's his picture. He used the health officer gag to get on at quarantine.
What about Madame Charpentier?
Yeah, she boarded the boat at Bremerhaven, Germany. Spoke to no one on the entire trip, never left her stateroom, and completely disappeared after clearing customs.
Now let's see how convoluted we can get before we tell Clark another crucial piece of information.
It's perfectly obvious that Fisher and that ambulance were on the dock to meet Madame Charpentier. And probably escorted to a prearranged rendezvous.
And she decided to double-cross them.
That makes sense. There's one point to be explained.
Why did the boys in the ambulance let her get away?
That's pretty easy. They weren't expecting a woman.
That's it. And the woman was no lady. The fingerprints in the stateroom and on the gun were male prints.
Next time, lead with that. And by the way, what do male prints look like as opposed to female prints? Do the male prints wear a tie? Now we need to contact some folks in Germany and find out who this guy is and what he was smuggling. But as we heard, the phones are out across the Atlantic.
There must be some other way.
Well, if you happen to bump into Superman, he might give you a hand.
You never can tell. Colonel Redding, in charge of Army intelligence over there, is one of my best friends. I'll see you, Inspector.
If you come up with anything, let us know.
He gets a set of those mailed prints from the lab, then changes and flies across the Atlantic to West Germany. His friend in Army intelligence checks the prints against their files and comes up with a match. His name is Otto von Kleben.
At present employed as orderly in U.S. Base Hospital 991.
That's right here for those who have trouble with numbers, like me.
Dr. Schumann might be able to help us. Okay to check with him?
Of course.
Dr. Schumann was the guy the doctor tried to call when he grabbed Jimmy Olsen. And there's something else about him.
Guten Abend, Colonel. I have a kleiner favor. Ach, I am sorry. I did not know you were busy. I will see you in the morning.
Oh, just a minute, Doctor. I want you to meet...
He looks exactly like Fisher. Clark snaps out of it and they ask their questions. Schumann says, we had to fire him a couple of weeks ago. They talk a bit more and the doctor leaves. Clark explains why he was staring and asks, do you have anything here that's valuable that someone might be interested in stealing? The colonel says, nothing that I can think of, but let's check with the guy who runs medical supplies.
Major, have you missed anything in the hospital in the last 2 weeks? Anything of great value?
No, I don't think so.
Do you have anything of great value? I mean, anything transportable?
Well, we've got $1 million worth of radium, if that'll help you.
You have $1 million worth of radium, and the colonel didn't think you had anything of value that someone might want. The colonel may need a vacation. And if the doctor thought a pair of big oven mitts were going to protect him from pure radium, he's lucky the box was empty. He's managed to keep a nice head of hair. Be a shame if something happened to it.
It's no bigger than a peanut, but we keep it in a lead-lined safe.
What an amazing idea. I don't know why nobody else has thought of that before.
Have you used it in the last 2 weeks?
No, I believe Dr. Schumann was the last one.
Could we have a look in that safe, Major?
Needless to say, the radium is gone. While Superman flies back to Metropolis, the others will pick up Schumann. Henderson got hold of the cab driver who picked up Madame Charpentier, and she left the city on one of 3 trains. Clark comes up with a picture of the lady without her lady accoutrements, and more.
Inspector Henderson, Metropolis. Dr. Albert Schumann, twin brother deceased Fisher, confessed theft $1 million radium smuggled through U.S. Customs and specially designed earrings by Otto von Kleben.
It's just as well. The doctor wouldn't look good with earrings anyway. The cable also identifies him as one Dr. Albrecht who's gone down for something like this before. Clark says, I'll be there when you take him down, but I have something else to do first. He has a train to catch. Thing is, with Superman, you could very well take that literally.
Who is it?
I don't know if there was a flaw in the film print there, if we had to put a cut so the stuntman could get into position and did a bad job of it, or what, but I wanted to see him hit Superman with that pistol. I was hoping it'd bounce back into his face and knock him out. Superman searches von Kleben's luggage.
Pretty smart. Hollow lead.
Those had to be the right ones. They were the only ones he couldn't see through.
Never take me alive.
If you don't drop that gun, Doctor, you're going to eat those words.
Verfluchter Übermensch!
Now, what have you done with Jim Olsen?
Perhaps you would like to see for yourself. Give him the current.
Jim Olsen is rescued, the doctor and his pal are in custody, and the radium is on its way back to where it belongs.
Golly, Superman, do you know how all this started?
No, Jim, how?
Oh, I was waiting on the pier for Miss Lane to arrange an interview with Dennis Darrieux, the French movie star.
Oh, I'm sorry you missed her. I understand she's very pretty.
Right now, you're prettier to me than all the movie stars in the world. Golly.
And that's how we end it. I couldn't wrap this up without inflicting it on you, because I know deep down you dig the agony. Until next time.
Video by Harry Harrison. Audio by Morris Morrison. Wardrobe and makeup by Alice Allison. Your announcer has been Peter Peterson.